Lord of mercy, unmute the microphone, Bunny. Hey, everybody, it's your boy Bunny 3000 along with Dirty Hell Motto. We are Geekswagg. We are the illest you'll ever meet, here to increase yo geek. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is episode 19. We are here to do our thing. Dirty Hell Motto, say hello to the people.
Hey yo, we here and we swear.
we finally got Helmato on the vid feed because for the longest we would have technical difficulties. We'd have like the spinny wheel of loading in front of Jason's face, and so like that was not really representative of the Thicket Nation. So I'm glad we have the technical difficulties taken care of. Oh, you might want to mute whatever that is in the background because it's probably gonna start echoing.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them to be quiet.
You stupid.
I am, yo. Sometimes.
Anyways, Thicket Nation, dude, tell me what's been going down over the past week, man. We've had a bunch of snow. Aside from the snow apocalypse part 4? Is that snow apocalypse part 3 or part 4?
It's 3, I don't know, man.
I think it's 3 because this the third day that we had off of work because they like shut down something.
Dude, let me tell you, all I know is that my arm hurt and my back hurt.
Yep.
And I need a snow blower.
Me too.
Because I'm not gonna make it.
I'm not either.
The only good thing I've been having is, you know, I got games, son. I got my Xbone, got my gaming laptop, got my PS4. That's the only thing that's been saving me.
That ain't been saving me, yo. I've been watching movies like a big dog, yo. I thought I was gonna be watching like shows and binge watching shows, but that never works. I usually sleep until like 10 o'clock. I get up in the morning, I shovel, you know, I go check my email and stuff until I recognize that I can't log in and work, and I go, oh, well, no work for me today.
Well, it's actually been good because, you know, the amount of years I've worked there, I think this is the most like time we've had off. So it's,
this is the third day of us not having to go to work because of snow, where they just closed down work and they were like, yo, it's snowing too much, y'all stay home. Okay.
That's right. Shut them down. What? Shut them down.
Shut them down. Shut them down. I shut them down. Thicket enemy
That's
number
right.
1.
Pretty much, yo.
But no, it's been crazy up here in the northeast. But well, we survived. Our backs haven't survived, but we have survived. I think we're supposed to get some more snow on Thursday, right?
Thursday.
You know how much we get?
Man, I hope it ain't a lot because I'm just tired of snow. Like, for real, summer at least spring need to happen. You know,
all right. It was funny. Somebody online showed this sign at somebody's church. It said, "Whoever's praying for snow, please stop."
They happy, man, because dude, like the most snow we've gotten in a long time. So
yeah, I know.
It's just been a pain in the butt.
I mean, thankfully, it hasn't been all at once, but still, it's like the frequency.
It feels like it's almost all at once. Yeah, because of the frequency, it's a little unbearable.
Yes.
You know, and
hold up. Could this be what I think it is?
What is that?
Makita about to come up in this piece? Oh shoot! We about to have a full crew. We about to have a full crew. Hold on. Let me see if I can get Makita. Dun dun dun, Makita. No fool me. Add to call. Makita, get up in this piece.
Makita is Jalisa.
Makita is Jalisa. No fool me. Doody.
There she is, everybody. Grim Freaker. Oh.
Is she in this piece? Hey, what's happening, stranger?
Yes.
Working like crazy.
Oh my god, she sounds
Girl,
like
you sound like you just woke up. What happened?
I wish I got sleep. Shit.
Oh my gosh. Damn, girl.
Yeah, it's been a rough week. It's been like a rough fucking week, man.
I
Cause
bet.
like, um, everybody uses PayPal,
Uh-huh.
and I was buying the ebook so I could learn how to like market my YouTube channel and stuff. So just like educate myself, because obviously, not only when I want to promote my site, my YouTube, but like our YouTube for Geekswagg and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the lady, I spent $50. The lady never sent me an ebook.
Ooh.
I asked her for a refund. I found out that she had been using um, my and a ton of other people's money to run like a Ponzi scheme. And
Oh.
yeah, and I reported it to PayPal. PayPal permanently bans me from ever making a PayPal again.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't get
I
that.
don't know. When I reported it, the next thing I know, that I checked my email. They said that they had disabled my PayPal card and my account was limited. So I'm like, okay, let me just go in there. Maybe I've got to send in some stuff. So I sent in my IDs, sent in all this other stuff. And they were like, oh, we think it's best that we part ways. And I'm like,
What?
wow. I mean, I've had that PayPal for almost a decade, and you're telling me you turned on a customer for that? Like, what is your reasoning? What the fuck is your reasoning on that? But it turns out that a lot of people were, they got yesterday,
Uh-huh.
like for weird reasons, where they felt like, oh, well, too much money is going in and out of this PayPal. And I'm like, people exchange millions of dollars through PayPal every day. I guess if you're not like I don't know. I don't know what PayPal's reasoning was, but fuck them. Like, I don't want to, if they're going to treat people who's been loyal to them for almost a decade like that, I'd rather not do business with people like that. That's fucked up.
Wow.
Well, I'm just tripping on they didn't give you like some kind of legal, was your account compromised with, something to that extent where, they can cancel your account.
Here was like the lame excuse they gave it. See, is oftentimes, how like if you buy something or maybe you enter a program or even if you open a banking account, if you have referrals, they'll give you like $50 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So, but this time it wasn't even that much. I got like maybe $15 from referrals off of books. And they were like, oh, well, you spent money and they gave you money back and that looks shady. And I'm like, but it's referral money. Like, I can give you the websites and everything. I gave them the websites. I gave them the paperwork, showed them the ebooks that I purchased. Nope.
How's that look shady? It's $15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see if it was like like $100,000 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Like, oh my
thinking,
gosh, you're making $15. We gotta part ways with you.
Yeah.
Money laundering, like
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, if it were like thousands of dollars a day, I could totally understand why they stopped my account. Like, I was so heartbroken about it. Mostly, it's mostly because I have an attachment to it. Like, when you've had something like that for a long time, and there's a lot of sites and stuff that use PayPal. PayPal is like really, really convenient, especially like
hell yeah.
on eBay and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, what they did was really fucked up, and it was just like, oh, I'm like, can I speak to the supervisor? And they're like, oh, well, we can't turn it over. They didn't tell me why my paperwork wasn't sufficient enough. They didn't tell me anything else. They just said, we can't do anything for you. This decision can't be overturned. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me that I can't ever make a PayPal ever again? And he's like, as of right now, unless you hear from us again, you can't ever make a PayPal ever again. Yeah.
Wow.
Deep.
That's,
Dude,
wow.
That brought me back some fake memories of an old Twitter account that I had that I was trying to get back into because, and they just dissed the hell out of me. It's kind of almost the same way. At least, it wasn't, I didn't feel, that attached to it, but I understand. It was just disappointment. It's like almost like they didn't even give me a chance to. They didn't give work with me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
They didn't even try. Nothing. It didn't come to anything. It was just no, and that's pretty much it.
They were like, "We don't like you. Goodbye." Click.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like it was just no. There was no reasoning, no anything. I hate you, Connecticut State, because they did that to me too with some back taxes. I ain't gonna bring that back up because I might feel like emotional. Yo, they swiped me for like $400, and I talked to this dude on the phone. I had all the documentation, y'all. And I asked him in so many words. I said, so basically, you're not gonna give me my money back, right?
They were like, dude, nope, you got your money.
That's kind of it. And I was like, wow.
They said, what $400?
Pretty much. That's kind of what he said to me. And I was like, I said, holy shit, this guy. I said, you're really not going to give me my money that you owe me. And I like at one of those points, I just lost respect for like the state government. I'm like, wow, you need my money that bad? You going to hornswoggle me out of 400 bones?
Yeah.
Well, Nikita, I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too, girl. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to do something, it's
it's hard.
That's what really pissed me off, because I'm like, okay, so basically you're punishing me for doing the right thing by being a good Samaritan, because I saw people getting scammed. Not only was like, I didn't give a fuck about the $50, but I just want them to know that you got
scammed, and this person has shady business practices.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, they and I went on the internet to find out like other reasons, and there are like forums dedicated to people being fucked over by PayPal. This one lady, she had been sending her kid money for like lunch and books and stuff for college. They froze the fuck out of her account. She couldn't send anything to her son for lunch or anything like that through PayPal. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Kidding me.
That's crazy.
Like, PayPal thinks they're the government, I guess.
They're
that's what happened with some businesses. They get too big for their britches.
They do the same thing as Bank of America. They do all these little shady things because they have all their little weird reasonings and stuff behind the scenes that nobody really knows about, that they're really doing with your money or something like that,
Right.
So I don't know, that's crazy, yo. They a bank just like everybody else,
Yeah, when they start losing customers, then they're gonna be sweating you again to get the business back. That's how it goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they get
in trouble
money.
like all the rest of the banks do, and they'll be calling you back.
Yeah,
you're like, I'll be quiet for now. But when he leave,
I'll be talking again. I'll be scamming you. Shut your ass up. Oh, you gotta be tripping now. I gotta go watch some Friday.
Lord have mercy. But we're sorry, kid. We sorry. Why don't we try to get into something a little more upbeat to get you at least excited about something, or at least talking about something else? How about that?
We're gonna have to get you some game codes or something.
I know, right?
Something, help a sister out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we will jump into it. We definitely have.
We should
Say, well, what happened, girl?
I didn't know we were recording. I was just like ranting.
Don't worry about it. No, we are on the air.
Everybody know now.
Everybody know now. We got you on the record.
Viewer that's watching know that you can't stand PayPal. And I hate Connecticut State government for robbing the nigga. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it.
That's it. Show's over. Go home.
Makita pulls out her Kanye rant.
I know, right?
These motherfuckers.
PayPal don't care about black people.
Oh my gosh.
Stop it,
Stop it. Okay, let me calm down. All right, so we actually do have a slight agenda for you guys. There's been a lot of stuff going on recently, and I figured we'll just kind of jump into it. There's a decent amount, a little bit of gaming news that we kind of wanted to start off or jump into. First off, just this past week, I'm not certain if the rest of the Geekswagg world knew about it, but Battlefield Hardline had their little beta.
I was rocking it
for like let's see, it started what, last
like
Sunday?
that was like 4 or 5 days.
Sunday? Yeah, it was like last Sunday, and it's been running. They had three modes. They had their regular large conquest mode. They had a mode that they showed off in the alpha, apparently called Hardwire, I think it was.
It's heist
Heist
and
and Hardwire.
hardwire, right?
Yep. And
They both suck.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
they did.
gonna let you go first, Sticky Nation, because I know I know you played a lot of it. I played a decent
Dude,
amount.
I was on it. I was on it hardcore. I got to like level 25 playing. I was putting some work into it, but I ended up only playing Conquest because like Heist is basically cops and robbers. The problem with the Hardwire, I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on, and what they do is, which I don't get. The map is so small. Oh, why don't you make it?
You
so
know
bigger?
what? You know what's so funny about that? I saw, their little community message when they released the beta, and what they were doing was they were saying that they were testing out all of the suggestions that they got from the community when they did the alpha. So what they were doing was they said that they were explaining as to why the maps were so small before they even had everything out there, right? And what they said was, we are making the size of the maps this small so that it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's supposed to be more intense because of how close all of the combatants are. It's supposed to intensify the whole situation or whatever, right? And that was their so-called reasoning for making it that small. So yeah, I can maybe understand that for heists because you're trying to infiltrate a bank,
Not really.
take the take the money and
Yeah,
then
your whole
escape,
purpose
right?
is to take them right and run. But for you
And
to
they're not
escape,
supposed to have. You're not.
You don't
really
want to be living in a
have,
box, though.
Well, yeah, that was something that I didn't quite get because when you do a heist or whatever, it's like the
You need roads to
escape point.
drive.
Yeah, the escape point was like right across the street. It was like, okay, you're running out of the bank, but it's like everything is so confined that even where the cops would spawn, they end up spawning at a vantage point for each one of the escape points. So they could basically spawn like 2 or 3 snipers right wherever they stood, and they wouldn't have to move, and they'd be able to see each of the escape points.
Yes.
Right where they spawned.
Right where they spawned. I mean, it was mad close.
Right, so it was like it didn't make any sense. I was like, oh, we'll just die. They took the bag. Okay, I'll just die, and then I'll spawn and be able to have a better vantage point before they even get out the building.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? It was like, I was like, wow. But even more so than Heist, not Hardwire, Hotwire, I thought was even worse. Because the whole concept of Hotwire is you're supposed to, each side has like 5 marked cars that are almost like flags. And you're supposed to get in these cars, and you're just supposed to drive around in circles.
Yeah.
In order to gain points. And the other team is trying to prevent you from driving around in circles. So they have their cars, and they're trying to crash your cars and blow your car up and everything, which I understand. That sounds like a decent concept, but you can't do it in like a NASCAR track size map, because ultimately everybody ends up driving around in the same circle, and it's like, I don't want to say it's pointless, but it almost is pointless because you don't really ever get any distance away from the other cars, and everybody else that's running around on foot, you'll see them, you'll see the car drive around once, and you're like, okay, everybody has to be a mechanic in order to do any damage to that car, because the mechanic's the only one that has, the grenade launcher, unless you like unlock the C4, and then there's only 2 classes that can use the C4, so everybody else is just taking little pot shots, hoping that they can get that one shot that actually is a headshot through the window or something like that, and that's nigh impossible for some car that's going like 80 miles or 90 miles per hour away from you.
Exactly.
So, all in all, Hotwire and Heist were a bust for me. I hated both modes. I did not like
Yeah,
either one of them.
the large conquest is you might as well play Battlefield 4. So,
Well, I will say this though. One thing I did notice about it was it plays a lot faster than Battlefield 4.
um,
At least it
yeah, a
felt
little.
like it to me.
Yeah, I felt like it played a little bit faster. I mean, like the only thing I can compare with like Fast and Slow is like Call of Duty versus Battlefield. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Wasn't much of that. I mean, the game is pretty much the same as Battlefield 4. You know, I mean, there was nothing special there. I just enjoyed playing, a different map. That was kind
Yeah.
of it for me,
Well,
So
I
I
kind
mean,
of, I was bugging out over the zip lines. That's all I wanted to do on each match. I didn't even care about shooting people half the time. I just
oh, the
wanted
zip.
to run. I'm serious. I was having a
Did you
blast.
did you did you shank anybody with the baseball bat? That's
Oh, dude,
funny.
that was so much fun. I ran up behind a dude. Dude, what I wanted to do, some dude caught me with a taser and it tripped me out.
uh,
He like tased me
yeah,
on the ground. I was like,
yeah. The
"Yo, bro,
taser's
you like
funny.
he tased me and then he like put me in handcuffs and stuff." Dude, that was so funny. I didn't even know they could do that. But
Yeah,
no, I was getting like the zip line and the grapple hook and stuff, and I was just zipping in between buildings and stuff, and people were shooting me off the zip line, and I didn't care. I was just like, "Wee!" Just
yeah.
going
The
from
zip
one
line's
building
funny.
to the next. Dude, that was so much fun. I was like, dude, I will freaking play that game just for that.
I don't know all about that though, but
I said I would play it. I didn't say I'd buy it. I said I
I
would
don't.
play it.
I don't know. That next
Did you
Battlefield, I
notice
don't
the
think.
key word there? Play, not buy. Play.
I don't think next Battlefield will be getting my cash, but beta was
Well,
interesting.
you know
So
what'll be interesting? I want to hear or see what people say about the single player, because from my understanding, they put a lot of work into the single player that's supposed to have a pretty interesting story.
really,
Yes, I heard there's
Mm.
a pretty serious storyline in this one, and that was the key, what they built it around. Because they said they wanted a cinematic kind of cops and robbers, kind of hardcore, you know, against drug war kind of gray area. It's like daggone, what is that show called? Not Law and Order, but what are those cop shows they run around after people?
what
Um,
CSI,
Maybe. I'm
Law and
thinking more.
Order,
I'm thinking more of
uh,
like
uh,
detective kind of undercover detective. You remember
Okay.
that show back in the 90s?
Yes,
Um,
undercover, New York
New York
undercover.
Undercover.
New York
Yeah,
Yes.
Undercover.
that was
Okay,
awesome.
Yeah. To me, from my understanding, it seemed as if they were kind of aiming for that, except they were kind of making some of the undercover cops kind of dirty, where they
Okay.
okay,
didn't, where they don't know on which side they really are because they're so deep
okay.
Oh God.
undercover. So, the storyline is supposed to be that, and you're traversing through all this really intricate storyline and all that kind of stuff. So just from that, I'm somewhat interested. I want to see what people say about it, to see whether it's anything worth it. Because I mean,
It's
I'm
kind of
kind of like
suck.
you. I'm kind of like you, Jay. I kind of love the whole Battlefield structure.
I do.
So
It's
a part
awesome.
of me is like, dude, once this thing gets down to like 20 or $30, I'm all in. I'll go ahead and buy it just to buy it because, I just love Battlefield. And, the way this one actually played in multiplayer, I could see myself playing it for a while. I'm definitely not playing freaking Hotwire or Heist, but when it boils down to it, even with Battlefield 4, I don't really play like carrier assault or air superiority or any of the other modes. I just play
Right,
Conquest.
right. And I know that what they're trying to do, and kudos to them. But like, don't go against the grain, man. I mean, like, Conquest is like awesome. I mean that. I mean, before there were Call of Duties and stuff like that, that defined the multiplayer. I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
it's still good.
you kind of gotta remember this is a different development company though. This isn't Dice. This is
No, it's not Dice. I mean,
it's
it's whoever the
Uzi, what's
original
it?
ones were.
Visceral.
Yeah,
Is it Visceral Games or something like that?
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think those modes are going to matter. Those things work in like those little fast-paced Call of Duty games. Those work great with that. But like with Battlefield, man, Conquest is I don't know. They shouldn't get away from that too much. I mean, add the new features in. Shit, make it a DLC and call it a day.
Wow.
Yeah. This I don't, unless they try to do some future warfare or something like that, that'd actually be cool. But besides that, I don't think there's anything else they can.
Well, actually, I think that's. I've got a feeling that's probably what they're going to end up doing with the additional DLC they're going to do with Battlefield 4. Because at first they said they were done, but they recognized that they were starting to get a influx of new people, and that there were a lot of people still on the servers. So they were like, you know what? Let's go ahead and keep supporting it for another year. So they're going to be doing some more DLC just for Battlefield 4 this year.
Yeah, I mean, shit, people are even still playing BF3, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Lots of people. Lots and lots and lots of people.
Yeah.
So, with that said, what about its little baby cousin, Call of Duty? They had an interesting week. When was it? It wasn't last week. That was the week before last, I think, wasn't it? When they dropped their first DLC, the Havoc DLC.
Havoc on Xbone. I can't play it yet because I'm on PS4.
Oh yeah.
PS4 gets no love, baby. In the Call of Duty
let me
world.
put it to you this. Let me put it to you this way: the very first, maybe 4 or 5 days that the Havoc DLC was out on the Xbox One, it didn't work. People were downloading it and they couldn't use the content. All of a sudden, Xbox Live goes down, and Microsoft says that they had to take it down because of the issues they were having with so many people downloading the DLC.
Wow. And
then on top of people having issues downloading the DLC, they were having issues actually using the DLC. So Xbox Live had to actually correct something on their end. And apparently it wasn't Activision's issue, it was like Microsoft's. It was something weird like that. I just saw a bunch of people tripping out because they were all pissed off. They're like, I can't use the new guns, I can't play zombies, I can't get my new maps, this bullshit sucks, I want my money back, I hate you. They were bugging out. I was like, dude, they said they're working on it. Did you not see the thing? They said, look, we know there's a problem, we're taking it down. Yeah, exactly. They're like, we're taking it down for a little while, we will remedy the situation in due time. So, I think they had everything up and running by that weekend or something like that. It was a good like 4 days of problems though. I'll give them that much. It was like 4 days of problems, and then by the weekend they had it all solved. But what I thought was funny
PS4, it's better.
Oh yeah, I'm certain they'll have all that worked out with whatever it was. But what I thought was interesting, you remember how on the other Call of Duty like zombie things, they had like the different characters.
Yeah.
So
they got Rose McGovern. They got a couple other people too.
Yeah, Rose McGowan. They had Bill Paxton. Oh my gosh, what is his name? Dude from Walking Dead that played Shane. What is his name?
Yeah.
I forgot his name. Yeah, but I know who you
know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
And John Malkovich. So all 4 of those are like the voices for the characters that you play in Call of Duty Zombies. And of course, the way they spin it is Atlas company is doing just like every other thing, they end up becoming instead of Umbrella, they're Atlas. They unleash the zombies, the infection, and they're studying what happens and all this other kind of goofy stuff. But I've been playing it. It is what it is. It's more zombies.
What do you mean it is what it is?
It honestly, the only difference between this version of zombies and the past version of zombies is that they have the exosuit things on, so they like boost around more, so they're faster and they come at you faster and stuff. In some parts. So some of the zombies are just regular zombies. Some of the zombies have these exosuits like you have on, and other zombies are like these weird bulbous looking swollen infected zombies where if they hit you then you're infected and you have to go to like a special portion of the map and get cured before you just die outright. They give you like 60 seconds for you to go, and you have to spend credits in order to activate this thing to cure you. So they only have, how like all the rest of them, they had like different they either had like different stages where it went on, where the stages tracked on for a long time.
Yeah.
This one is basically one map, and you can open up certain areas to different rooms. Because you start off, you don't have the exosuit. You have to go to a specific room and get an exosuit, and then get upgrades to the exosuit. You get a little 3D printer to make up is what they use as the randomizer for the guns. Excuse me, like they used to do on the other Call of Duty zombie games and stuff. So they still play. You still play it basically the same way. You get the points. You use the points to buy the guns and the ammo and all other kind of stuff. So I don't know what the ending is supposed to be because I haven't been good enough to get anywhere near it. I am not good at COD zombies. I've learned that very quickly. There are other people. They be boosting and jumping all over the place and using sentry guns, and they going bonkers with pistols. I'm like, dude, how are you killing zombies with that one pistol? And they just taking things out all over the place. Meanwhile, I'm laying on the ground shooting a little beginning pistol you start off with, like, okay, revive me, hello.
Zombies suck.
Yeah, but
zombies suck.
And they do, man. They try to bite you and all kinds of shit. It's just not fun.
Oh man. So, we had some other news in here that about Bethesda Thicket that you put up here. Why don't you let people know about what's going on with Bethesda?
Well, Bethesda will be hosting, their own E3 conference this year in LA, and I've been trying to see, to see what's on the menu because you're open for some new Elder Scrolls, maybe some Fallout. I'm hoping,
Shoot,
so
dude, Elder Scrolls. The only thing new for Elder Scrolls is going to be Elder Scrolls Online for consoles, which hasn't dropped in over a year than releasing the game.
Yeah, which is true, but I don't know. Maybe they might, drop something else. I'm hoping. I've been itching for Fallout, and there've been rumors of war, rumors of Fallout.
I bet you that's what it's going to be. I bet you it's going to be.
I'm hoping, man, because I've been, I like Fallout 3. I thought it was a good game. I'm hoping for another Fallout game on, the new shiny hotnesses. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, some sweet Fallout stuff. I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, right now I've been trying to find stuff. It's, it's kind of hush hush. So I'm assuming probably like, how they usually do it, like, a month or two before something's going to leak accidentally.
Right.
And then, we're going to be all gassed. Like, oh my God, they gave us a poster of Fallout, all us losers would be sitting there drooling over it. So that's what I'm hoping. So that, they'll have, I heard it's the first time they're doing this. So, I'm eager. So
yeah, I mean, shoot, they've made enough big time games where they can start unveiling some of the other things that they're working on. But I guess that's one of the things that you have to be able to do. If you're going to have your own conference, you got to have more than 2 games that you're going to talk about. So this will be interesting,
Right. Yep. So I'm hoping they got a whole bunch of stuff, to show us.
Yeah. I'm interested as well. What about you, Makita? You think Bethesda's going to release anything you'd be interested in?
Not really. I was disappointed with The Evil Within.
They did that, right?
They did that. Yeah, I was kind of expecting for it to be a lot more scary. So this is why I'm so jaded when there's hype. When the hype train is going, it's a little, it's a bit much. And I said to myself, yes, I'm so fucking hyped for this. I'm so ready. I'm gonna get it. And I said, you know what? Before I spend $65 or so on this game, let me watch it on YouTube. And I was like, this game is weird, but it's not scary. Like, there were some parts that kind of made your heart race a little bit, but there wasn't anything that would make me go, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. And I get easily scared with like horror games. So if it doesn't affect me, then that's really, really bad. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
So those commercials with the
so
people
much.
freaking out, those are all jacked up, huh?
Maybe they're more scary than me. I don't know. Who knows?
They're really good actors. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
my
never
goodness!
know.
Look at her butt. So
Wow.
Oh man.
So yeah, nothing from me. Nothing too crazy from me.
Not even you weren't into like the Fallouts and any of those.
I've never played Fallout before.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You play Skyrim, right?
Yes, I've played Skyrim for an hour and then I got bored.
Wow. Yeah, well, Skyrim's kind of, you got to invest a little bit more time because if you play an hour, it's just like, meh.
I mean, you know what? It's a beautiful, beautiful game. I can never take that away from Skyrim. But as somebody who is like a fanatic gamer for RPGs, I just wasn't really. I couldn't really get into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm more into like Japanese RPGs or something. Because that.
Well, I'll put it this way. I see exactly where you're coming from because I remember when the very first Elder Scrolls came out. What was it, Daggerfall or something like that? And it was like one of the very first Bethesda game or Elder Scrolls games even that they put out where they were trying, where any RPG where they were trying to make it a first person, perspective or view in real time, right? So one of the things that they kind of were working on or were catching flack for around that time was this whole scheme that they had where they were like, okay, we don't want to do levels experience based. We want everything to be as open as, you have a person and that person can be whatever they want to be whenever they want to be. So if you spend half the game swinging a sword and then all of a sudden decide that you want to start casting magic, you can. And, so they had it all skill based and they had it so that anything and everything that you did as you did it, that would increase your skill. And then the more skill that you gain, that ends up becoming your experience level or some, to some effect. Right.
Right.
And it took, I guess you would say, traditionalists a long time to really look at that scheme and say, is this even an RPG? Because it didn't really feel like it. You know what I mean? It felt like, kind of like what you're saying. It felt like a first person shooter that had like light RPG elements to it because even if you like destroyed like a massive demon or whatever, you may only get like 1 or 2% in one skill, because you used one skill to defeat that guy. And you're like, well, dude, I spent like 2 hours trying to defeat this daggone vampire or whatever. I should get, like buku experience points and I should be like level 25 by now. And you're like, oh, dude, I'm level 12. So people are getting kind of, miffed at like the progression in some of these games and the way it kind of went. And it didn't really progress the same way that a regular, like you would say, like a regular JRPG would, or even not even, I guess you'd say regular turn-based, but just any RPG or traditional RPG to that point. It's kind of its own animal now because they've kind of changed up a little bit, but that's kind of where the core was, and it's not really the same as a regular RPG. It's just kind of an open-ended storytelling monster, I guess you would say at this point.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, like I like the concept because I always get caught up in that same scenario talking about bees. Like, I'll spend 40 hours being a mage, and then when I get there, I'm like, this sucks. I want to start.
I want to start slashing people with this beautiful new sword I just found.
Right. So like a game like Skyrim gives you the opportunity to a part of that game I spent being a mage. Part of the game I spent being a thief. Part of the game I just loaded up with heavy armor and just bashed through everything I could, and
Right.
I had a lot of fun doing that. Now with Skyrim, like most RPGs, like it doesn't actually become fun until you like probably sink like 10 hours into it. So like and the thing is with that game, because it's skill based, everything overlaps.
Yeah.
So like you can get, if you don't understand that concept, you can get lost really quick too, because you're like, well, gee, why do I, you can pretty much like, like what's the game I'm looking for? Dragon Age. Like, your guy is only limited to one class. That's it. You get some. I mean, in this game, no matter what you got, you can mix and match things however you feel like it, and just put things together whichever way you see fit. I mean, you could be swinging a sword wearing a mage's outfit, or be an archer with heavy armor. So it didn't really matter. And the first person aspect of it, I think, to a degree, does take away from it a tiny bit, in combat. But I mean, what's great about it is you can swap back and forth. You can do third person. So that, I mean, for me, it was, oh man, I must have synced probably about 400 hours into that game easily.
Yeah, we got one of our chatters in there, Dragon Age. That is, I guess, what you would say the Americanized version of a JRPG to its finest. Just for the main fact that it's a BioWare beast.
It is. I mean, Dragon Age, and is an awesome game. I mean, I probably, how many hours you put in the Beach? I probably put about 50 to 60 already.
I'm definitely
probably more than that.
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close to 80 and 90. I see our guy Mark Baker over there saying the dragons are kind of hard. Finding the dragons are kind of hard. I've managed to find about 3 or 4 of the dragons actually.
What? Oh my God, guys! I must have run into a dozen of them already. Yeah. I just haul ass pretty much because I'm not fighting. Right at the level I am right now, I'm not fighting them. I tried to fight one down by some river. He was chilling out there, and I didn't even really notice because he was blending in with this stupid building. And when I got too close, it was too late. I had to fight him, so he lit me up.
Yeah, I've actually gotten to a point where I'm able to take down a few. I've taken down 3, and apparently there's like at least 10. Right. And then there's like a arch dragon or something like that that's out there. That you can summon or bring. That's out in the desert. And I haven't tried to do that one yet because I know I'm not ready for him. But no, Dragon Age. I mean, especially Inquisition. I don't know if you've ever played Dragon Age, Makita, before, but I bet you that would probably be more your speed.
Maybe.
I think. I've been thinking about the first 2. Mm-hmm. I think Makita will probably enjoy the first 2. I think those will probably.
Well, I'm pretty certain she'd like this last one. The first one is a lot more, I guess you would say, core RPG. 2 is more like an action RPG. You like dodge around and you queue up and you
yeah, like Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, kind of like Mass Effect 3. It was probably their attempt to bring it closer to an action RPG, whereas Origins was more, I don't want to say, it was almost like a turn-based, a real-time strategy game almost. Real-time strategy RPG, I guess you'd say. Because you would queue up everybody and say, okay, I want you to attack this guy, and then I want you to cast a spell, and then I want you to cast this spell, and then I want you to use a potion on so-and-so. And you would like queue up all of their actions, and then you let them go, and then you could change up where they, where you wanted them to position themselves as it was happening. And it was almost like, it was almost turn-based in a sense, but they allowed the action to progress. Did you ever play any of the old school Star Wars games, the Knights of the Old Republic that BioWare did, Makita?
What?
What?
Well, BioWare back in the day, they had, I guess not. They had, I think this whole RPG system that they've been using in these games was based off an engine that they did that won a whole lot of awards I want to say back in the 90s, right, Jay? It was like late 90s or something like
Yeah,
that.
late 90s. Yeah.
And it was like Knights of the Old Republic in KOTR. I think I can't even remember what it stood for. But they had this new system where instead of it just being turn-based, it was like everything was in real time, but you could cue everybody's actions in your party. And people really gravitated towards it because it was pretty close to like the Baldur's Gate games that were out there. I think BioWare did those too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty close to that, except it was more 3D, so it brought you into the action more. And people liked the engine because it made the combat more fast paced and more cinematic because they could see it happening. A little bit more so than most past, well, even past BioWare games where the characters were really small, moving around on the screen almost like a board game or something like that. But yeah, I think you'd really enjoy Dragon Age Origins. Me personally, I hated Dragon Age 2, but Inquisition I definitely think you'd love. And you don't necessarily have to play them in order, because they're really separate stories, even though they kind of do tie together in the last storyline. But definitely, you should definitely at least try Dragon Age Origins.
Okay, that sounds good. Definitely.
Yeah, you'll probably get it like on Steam for cheap now.
Yeah, real cheap.
Yeah, I'll probably wait till a Steam sale or something because you know how that happens. You go into a Steam sale with like $20 and comes out with like 50 games.
Oh heck
the
yeah!
Games are like so freaking cheap.
Nice. Oh, speaking of cheap, have you been hip to that one site that I was talking about last week called Humble Bundle?
Oh yeah, I get emails from them.
Oh okay. Yeah, because I was going bonkers on them with they had their little Star Wars sale. Well, they still have it actually. Their little Star Wars sale going on. I snagged all them games. It was like 15 bones too. It was like 9. It was a little bit more than 9 games or something like that for 15 bones. Really, really, really good Star Wars games, dude. I love all of them. Oh my goodness. Our agenda.
Yes, where we at?
Where we at? You had something on here about the Order 1886, Jay. What about that?
Yeah, I just pre-ordered that today.
Oh, really?
Drops off. Yeah,
what
it drops
is that
next
about?
week.
What is that about?
It's about English people killing werewolves in 1886. That's basically the storyline.
Oh, so it's Van Helsing, basically.
Yeah, and I've been doing a little bit of trying to catch up on it. Basically, your crew of these lichen hunters, and you get all these fun and funky weapons, and there's a whole backstory with the government and stuff like that, and that's kind of pretty much it, but I'm just in it for the killing. That's where I'm at. Run around, shoot werewolves, and I don't know, I didn't see anything about any vampires in it, but that's pretty much what I got from it so far. And PSN had a little sale going on too, so if you pre-ordered, you get some cool stuff. So that's a game that's been pushed back a couple times.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it has.
Yeah, so I mean, from what I see, people playing I guess the beta release and whatever, who gets to play those, they like it. So I'm gonna suck it up because I'm still that Dying Light. I want to get it, but I'm not sure. So
I want to get Dying Light. But I can't because I don't have a PS4 yet. But yeah, so
it's not on PC.
Yeah, it's on PC.
But I want to play it because I want to play it on PS4 because I want to stream it.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, my computer is not really powerful enough to give a full-fledged, quality stream. Right. So I'd rather do it on the PS4 where I can have it like wired in with its own Ethernet cord and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been literally dying to play Dying Light. It's ever since E3. what was it? E3 the year before last, I think it was, where they showed how they were kind of like jumping from roof to roof.
All the parkour and everything.
Yeah, that was just really cool. And I like the different monsters that come out at nighttime and how you have to kind of like use the sonar to detect whether they're in the area. I mean, I just love different types of zombie games. When somebody takes something that has been done forever and does something new with it, I get excited, and you know how much I love zombies. So,
well, I mean, hey, they had me sold at Dead Island. You know, this is Dead Island's developer, and you know, they said this is an improvement on Dead Island, but it's not quite the same. So, you know, and I've been telling Jay back and forth. I'm like, dude, I got this gift card that's burning a hole in my pocket that's saying Dying Light, Bunny, Dying Light, do it. Do it. Do it. So, you know, one of these days this week I might just run out to Best Buy and just snag it.
I have to, because like let me know how it is, because I refuse to watch it on YouTube. That's how excited I am about it.
You want to experience all yours.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I feel that.
I'm excited. I'm almost as excited for Dying Light as I am for Monster Hunter 4. I think that's coming out this week.
Yep,
it's supposed to have with the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL, which is supposed to be like really, really cool. I may get that, not the first week, of course, but
why not? Go ahead, splurge, girl.
No, you know what? Bills. You know, gotta be an adult. It's
damn the bills, damn it.
An adult. But
do it.
Splurge.
Yeah, okay.
Splurge.
Like, I'll splurge if y'all give me the money.
Right, exactly. So reading my mind right now. But yeah, I definitely want Dying Light. I've got like a bunch of games that I need to get, but right now I've been, you know, kind of like trailing off into the whole like old school game thing. I kind of, I finally really, really used my my eShop on Nintendo. Yeah, I finally really used it. I think maybe I like bought. Yeah, it still exists. Wise guy, this guy. No, it was. I think you're talking about the. I think it's the Nintendo points or something like that. Nintendo.
Yeah, I was just playing around.
Yeah. But the eShop, and I downloaded. See, I've never played a Zelda game before. I've never played Zelda, and
it's out of town.
You know, I've played them. I've never beaten a Zelda game. I've played some of them, but I've never
Zelda, man. Dude, I'd buy a Nintendo whatever just to play Zelda again.
Yeah, I bought Zelda Link's Awakening. Mind you, it's a Game Boy Color game. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here like feeling so spoiled because I didn't know what to do. Like, games now, they make it so convenient and they make it so you don't really have to think. Like, they'll have your map set out for you.
Oh, heck yeah.
They'll have a list of mission things that you...
That was back in the day. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
That keeps everything. And it just... Everything is kind of laid out for you in our current gaming generation.
So what, you pulled out the map paper and you started gritting out everything?
Man, let me tell you something. I went old school and looked up a strategy guide. I haven't done that in forever.
I forgot what those were.
What is this? And I'm so used to things like having like a tutorial. But back in our day, I think younger me would have gotten it. But back in our day, those type of games, especially Nintendo, kind of just like threw you in the lion's den and made you fend for yourself. And they taught you while you were playing. Yep. Not, you know, they didn't have tutorials of like, okay, and now press the A button to shoot or anything like that. It's just here, jump in there and press buttons. And if you live, that's great. Yeah.
And by the way, you don't have any game saves. Oh no.
Yeah. You know how that works. But yeah, I've been literally, even today, you know, I thought I was maybe my brain was awakening, and I was like, oh my god, what do I do next? Where do I go? What is this? So I had to go back online and do
Started
it. It's
actually
really
hunting
sad.
and searching around. I'm like, oh, there might be something over here. Let me blow that
Yeah.
up. Let me cut
Yeah,
this. Let me see what this
it's
is.
pretty sad. It's pretty sad, but it made me it rekindled a love for old school games for me right now. So just been doing that whole like gaming thing. I think that's old school game. I think that's kind of why I'm not really aware of any new titles coming out.
Hmm.
It's
Well,
whatever.
yeah, it is kind of hard because you don't necessarily have a new system to new game on. So yeah, I can understand how that would be difficult.
Well, I mean, I could be aware of it. I mean, like I'm always aware of other things, but I've just
No, I
been
mean aware as
super
in
preoccupied.
play. Yeah.
Oh, I, I don't know. I'm not really. Dying Light is something that I know I already knew I wouldn't be able to play it because I don't have a new gen console.
Hmm.
Um, but
Get
there
on
are
it,
plenty
girl,
of
because what?
yeah.
Witcher's coming
There are
out next
other
month? Is it next month or April?
What's up?
what?
Witcher 3.
I think, oh, is it
Uh,
next month? Don't
no,
Either
say
you
next
got,
that.
month
you
or
got, no,
April.
you
It's
got,
one of those.
no, it's May,
It's
May
May?
19th. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So you
Oh,
got a little
good.
bit of time. You
My
got a little
got a
birthday.
little bit of time.
That way I get to
Yeah.
guilt trip somebody into buying it for.
yeah. Ah, that's awesome. Jason already pulled that trick. I pulled that trick with my
I
laptop,
did.
so I didn't get my PS4. I got my laptop out of the deal.
Oh well, I mean that's okay.
Yeah, that was, whew, trust me, that was more than okay. I love this Joker. But, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue on. Try to see if we can get through some of this agenda. We've already gone. Wow, we've gone like an hour. That was pretty good, people. But actually, before we get out of that, I do have like a little small short story that I'd be interested to see you guys' opinion on, right? So I was talking to my son this weekend, and I found out that okay, he's even more hardcore of a video gamer than I am. He even knows about more games than I know about and his play. You know, he's one of those kids that's just deep into it, right? So every time he calls me now, he calls me, and he lives in North Carolina. Everybody, he doesn't live with me. He lives with my ex. And so he'll call me just random times throughout the week, and he'll just blast off into this long discussion about video games that he loves or likes or that he heard about, as if he's like on an interview or doing something for CNN talking about video games, right? And he went everywhere from talking about Destiny to Halo to Five Nights at Freddy's to Torchlight to, he just kept bouncing around to all these games, and I was like, a few of them I had never heard of before. And then all of a sudden he said, but the one game I would get, and this is my question to y'all, he was like, the one game that I would get right now more than anything in the world that I really, really love is XCOM. And
Oh, I love XCOM.
you guys have no idea how much I almost cried when I heard him say that. I was so proud of him because, and I don't know if you've had this moment with your girls, Jay, but for some reason when he said that, a thing lit up in my mind. I was like, thank you, he gets it. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, because it was almost like for a while there, the only thing that he would talk about is Halo this or Destiny this, or Halo, Destiny. That's all he wants to play, Halo or Destiny, or well, I mean, he kind of wanted to play Grand Theft Auto all the time too, but I never let him play that. But
no GTA.
but he would, no, the thing is he would play it at friend's house, so it was like there was no getting away from him. Even though I told him that he couldn't, he would just do it anyway. um but the thing was, I was scared. I was like, dude, he's gonna be like a freaking Call of Duty Halo jerk, that just goes around and like curses at people and like just shoots them and gets mad, because that's what he was doing with his brothers. He would get mad at them. He would say, oh, you're not doing it right. Do this. Hurry up. Get in the, I was seeing my son turn into like this monster, this first person shooter monster. And then all of a sudden, this one phone call, he tells me, oh, if I had any game that I would get right now, I would get XCOM. And I almost cried. I was like, a
Oh,
real I don't want to say those other games aren't real games, but that was like his moment of gaming evolution. I was like, you know what I mean? I was so happy. And I'm just curious, Jay, have you had that moment with your girls? Because I know they play games, and I've heard
They
you talk.
do, but they don't. I mean, they don't, get into the stuff that I mean, like, we're gamers because we're so diverse. We
Right.
we can pick up any games. I could be, in a meeting at work, sneaking, some Candy Crush and be like happy. I'm a loser. What do you want? So, but the only one that my youngest, she's big in Minecraft, and the things that she can make in Minecraft blows me away.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
I mean, she
does
got
her
her
little
own
videos
world.
and stuff, right?
Yeah, she do her own little videos. She got, I mean, she has. I saw one of them she did like a couple months ago, and it's this huge world, and in the middle, smack in the middle of it, she got a castle, but it's a 3D castle made. It looks like a butterfly.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean, and it looks good. It looks good, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I can't do that. And she's
That's
like
amazing.
10, so like, she'll play. The other two. They're just like they're like mainstream gamers. They'll play like they're into the Lego stuff. They'll play the little Just Dance, and
Well, I know your oldest was all through Call of Duty for a while too. She was wrecking shop for a while too when she was playing with me.
Actually, no, that was the youngest one.
Are you serious? That was
Yeah.
That was her?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, well, I'm like, hey, I hand them the control because I don't want to get booted out of a good session, So, like, when I'm in there with a bunch of scrubs and they're making me get like 40, 50 kills a match, hell yeah, I'm saying it. I'm like, yo, hold this, I got to go to the bathroom. And they'll put in a little bit of work till I come back.
That's hilarious.
So, but older one, she doesn't really, she's not into it. She just won't do it. The middle one, she's like I said, she'll like the other day I got Marvel, Lego.
Yeah.
And they were just going crazy. Yeah, they were going crazy on that. So they're definitely into that. They'll get down on the Wii. They'll be doing their Just Dance and Super Mario Kart World or whatever they got out there. Well, that's it. I don't think my kids are going to get that breakthrough moment like yours, man. I don't think
it shocked me. I don't. That's what I was wondering though. Am I crazy for being proud of him that he likes or wants to play XCOM like this?
I would definitely say yes, because
I am crazy.
Like you would. Okay. No, you are. You're stupid too, but. No, I get what you mean, man. I get what you mean, because like, they got a lot of fake gamers out there right now, and I can't hate on them because these dudes are smart. They're making bucks. I mean, like you get a real gamer, he'll play Call of Duty, and he'll play like some RPG you never heard of because he likes it. But then you get your guys. That's all. Yo, I got an Xbox. And I got a PlayStation. What you got on them? Call of Duty, Battlefield, and that's it. And maybe one racing game. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, Madden.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. I remember in high school, guys would buy like Genesis on our football team. Just to have Madden. Yep. That's it. They wouldn't play anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah. But like, if you go through our game library, I mean, you have everything here. You got your here you go, Makita, right here. We're gonna have to send this over to you. Fallout. Yeah,
that's
a good
game.
game.
Yeah, you gotta try that one.
I'll play that. Then I'll jump over to some of this. And then I'm gonna bounce back and I'm gonna do some of this. So I'm all over the place.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, big ups to him, man. Tell him have fun.
Yeah. I might actually have to get that for him just because, I'm proud of you, son. Here you go.
I love you, baby.
I love you. Okay. We'll go on with our agenda here because we got some stuff on TV and movies that we definitely got to hit up.
Oh yeah.
So the Daredevil trailer Please tell me that you saw it, Jay, because I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry.
No, it looks good, man. I mean, it looks like they're gonna do a whole from what I see in the trailer, he's he got like he don't even have his like Daredevil outfit yet. He got like a half
I at least saw that
pulled
picture.
over his head.
Yeah, he's just got like a maroon kind of rag or blindfold or whatever over his face.
Yeah, you know what I didn't do? I didn't look up the guy that's actually playing Daredevil. I haven't looked at the whole cast yet. So
look it up now, Burger Nation.
Yeah. So that I haven't done.
That's what the internet is for.
I know, man. I know.
What is it? Charlie Cox? Yeah, Charlie Cox. I do not know him. Who is Charlie Cox, ladies and gentlemen?
I don't know.
Charlie Cox is known for his starring role, Tristan Thorne in Stardust. Oh, okay. And he's also in a supporting role on Boardwalk Empire.
Really?
Yes. Exactly. I don't watch either one of them, so I have no idea what he's been in. But apparently, he is Daredevil, so you will know him soon. So yeah, that Charlie Cox, way to go, homie. Hopefully it's good. When is it supposed to drop again? It's in the show is supposed to start soon, right? In another month or two?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know the exact date that it's coming. It's probably coming for that spring lineup.
I don't know. I want to care about
April
Daredevil.
10th. That's what it is, April 10th. And then after this ends, then they're going to be doing AKA Jessica Jones is Marvel's next one.
Yeah.
Nah.
I know nothing about her.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I thought she was the chick that was sitting next to me in English class. Hey, Jessica Jones.
Well, no, it's supposed to... Well, I do know that she's a part of the Defenders, so I know that that's ultimately what they're working on. They're working on the Defenders. So it's supposed to be Daredevil, then it's supposed to be Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones, and they're all gonna end up at the end of all of their seasons or whatever coming together to do a Netflix Defenders, and then the Defenders are supposed to end up in the movies in some shape, form, or fashion, probably in Civil War somehow is what I'm guessing.
Okay.
But that's their so-called plan, their master plan for it, which is interesting. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe it'll actually gain some interest from the Makitas of the world. You never know.
I hope so. I mean, like,
you never know.
Like, I mean, I told you before, like, how I feel about these, like, comic book movies. It's bullshit now.
But you gotta appreciate it for what it is, girl. Because we have
you just play that optimistic crap.
No, it's not optimism. No. Look. Let me put it to you this way. I know there are a lot of for real. Look, there are a lot of people out there that are like highly critical of a lot of these comic book movies and everything that are going on. And the first thing that I tell them is, number one, because of contract issues that Marvel has had throughout the years, they screwed themselves. So they can't do any of the storylines the way that they did in the comic books. I mean, just for the mere fact that they can't use actual mutants in any of the Marvel movies is like proof in point. How can you do a Marvel movie without mutants? And they can't do that. So they've had to rewrite all their major storylines.
Is it that they can't use the word mutant?
Well, that's pretty clear because they're putting Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the Avengers movies. Yeah, they're putting them in those, but they're like twisting the storyline somehow so that apparently it's like a work of I'm not even certain how they're gonna write them in terms of what they are in the actual movie. But that's the reason why they haven't been able to use, like, they specifically can't use any of the X-Men. Just outright. They can't use any of the X-Men. Point blank. So, you can imagine all the storylines that Marvel has and the ones that their studios are doing that they can't use almost their most popular franchise in any of those storylines. So they've had to rewrite all of these stories so that they can do that. And in my mind, they've done a very good job in being able to at least bring the other characters that aren't necessarily mutants, or that they aren't writing as mutants, or however you want to write them, that aren't involved with X-Men, into this larger universe and make that universe still relevant and still interesting. Yes, it's not the same as what's in the comic books, but that's because of the issues that they have with being able to use mutants in the first place. And given the time that we've lived through, where we've seen all of the poor representations of superheroes of any kind, or the lack of representation of like almost any of the Marvel heroes, in whether it was in cartoons or live action films or whatever back in the day, I am like 1,000 times over grateful that it's at the stage or status that it's at right now. And I just love it for what it is. And they're doing something different with it. They aren't writing it exactly as the comic book. And who wants it exactly as the comic book? I like to be able to appreciate it for a story that's similar, but different and new. In my mind, I honestly love what they're doing. I appreciate what they're doing for what they're doing, because it's hard as hell to rewrite a story without the X-Men in the Marvel universe.
Will a Marvel movie ever win an Academy Award?
Say what?
Will a Marvel movie ever win an Academy Award?
Ooh, no, probably not. No.
Probably not, no.
I seriously doubt it will ever win one. But I'm not looking for it to. It's like asking whether or not the next Conan movie will win an Academy Award. No one cares. They just want it to be good.
Actually, you never know.
Yeah, basically.
But isn't that the whole definition of winning an award? Because it's good?
Well.
It got real quiet.
Is that the definition? No. Is that? Say that again. Is that the definition of what? Winning an award? It being good?
Yeah, movie being good. Yeah.
No, there are plenty of movies that have won an award that I didn't necessarily like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all subjective. It's all subjective, so it doesn't necessarily mean.
Yeah, but at some point, somebody thought it was good enough to win an award.
Well, somebody kissed enough ass for the movie to win an award.
I mean, that whole.
I guess we gotta call Stan Lee, man. Come on, baby, start licking.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, and that begs an even larger debate, because we could launch into the whole Grammy thing and say the exact same thing. Everything, the whole boards, the way they craft a lot of these boards for all of these different awards, is typically suspect. So it always makes you wonder whether or not the ones that were nominated were really worthy of being nominated in the first place, when there were plenty of other movies that you felt were just as artistic or original or good or well written as any of the movies that were nominated, yet said movie was not, or said album or said artist was not, or actor or actress or whatever. So that's a hard line to draw, to say that it wins an award, so that makes it good. You know what I mean? Or it didn't make or it didn't or it didn't win an award, so that doesn't necessarily make it good. Or it didn't get nominated, so that doesn't make it good. You know what I mean? That's kind of a hard line for me to draw. I don't know about y'all. What do you guys think?
No, I don't know. I don't ever think a Marvel movie would ever win an Academy Award, just because the fact that it's a comic book.
Right. Yeah. I don't think.
I think that's just right. They just don't respect it.
Don't respect it.
But some of them, like some of the movies, like me, I thought maybe an Avenger type movie could have won an Academy Award.
I don't know. I think
just based on things that they've done. Just based off of things they've done. That movie I thought was pretty hard to pull off.
If they write it the right way, if they write this movie the right way and they do it the way that I hope that they do it, Civil War could be really, really deep. I really think they could do that very well, because the whole premise of Civil War itself is, a really good. I don't want to necessarily call it political, but in that fictional realm, it's very political. And
Right.
I think it could be very deep. It could be one of those movies where you don't necessarily have to have a whole lot of action in order for it to be good. Because you're more interested in the different stances that all the heroes are going to take and which side that they take. And then, of course, at the very end, all of them duking it out.
Go to Cancun.
So I don't know. That's a hard one for me. That's a hard one for me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. But I feel you. I understand where you're coming from, though, Makita. I do. I get it. I've seen the 1,000 posts and the threads and everybody all up in arms and everything. I get it. I understand. I do not disagree. There's a lot of them that could have been written far much better than they actually were. Whether it was any of the Thor movies or whether it was Iron Man 2 or 3 or they could have written a lot of them so much better. There are a lot of writing errors when it comes to a lot of these movies, I guess you could say, where said people could have made it better and all this other kind of stuff. And a lot of times, a lot of what I've seen just from talking to, I've got a cousin that's kind of in the business in the way I've kind of spoken to him about how he's seen things go when it comes to scripts. A lot of times, a lot of stuff that we would have wanted to see or wished was there, or they actually planned to have better reasoning for this or that, in terms of explaining something or talking about something, and they cut it, whether it's because of time or because it wasn't as relevant as some of the other scenes that they wanted to get across. And sometimes it ends up just being one of those victims of editing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes that ends up being the issue. Not all the times, but sometimes it ends up being, you just get the wrong editor that gets in there and cuts out something that's hey, the fanboys would have loved this. But you're not a fanboy. You took it out. You're an asshole. They get into that. I'm certain they have those money, those money types that'll come in there and just say, you're over budget. Just take this out. Take this out. Take this out. And they just rip out the wrong parts of the movie just because they got to get it done.
Yeah, what they feel isn't important.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. But we'll see. We will see.
God damn it, BJ. What else is on the agenda? Jesus.
On the agenda, girl, I got so much on here. The Flash, Thicky. What was going on with the Flash, man?
The Flash is mid-season. Just they had another episode tonight, which I couldn't watch because I'm here with all you lovely people.
What you trying to say, Thicky?
Nothing. I am just saying. Tuesday's Flash night. I'm gonna catch it tomorrow. I'm gonna fire up Netflix. I'm gonna do my little 2-hour thing. I'm gonna watch Arrow. And I'm gonna watch Flash. Last week they had Flash. Coming back. Mm-hmm. And he chasing down these metahumans. And his girl that he loves so much, he finally got a date with a different girl, and she all jealous now, so she kind of sweating Barry a little bit.
Oh, of course.
Of course, you gotta throw that in there. Last week episode, wasn't too exciting. This week's looks pretty good. They're tracking down this character, man, and I forgot his name. He's almost like the Human Torch. I forgot his name. And they're tracking him down now because they switched the story up a little bit. He when the explosion went off in Central City, there like another guy got imprinted on top of him. Mm-hmm. So it's like one person living in two bodies right now, and he's kind of crazy. And then he got like if you ever played Infamous Second Son, like he'd be floating around with these little fire bombs coming out of his arms. It was crazy.
Yeah. What movie is this again? This is Flash.
Dude, I'm telling
Sounds
you,
freaky.
CW has gotten like the best budget, yo, because like it's funny because I've been watching Arrow for the last couple seasons, so like season 1, like they do the CGI, it looks like sci-fi, kind of like horrible.
Yeah, like
now it's
comedies.
Yeah, it's just bad, right? And like now in season 3, man, everything is so good. It's just like, this is CW, so
wow.
That was pretty good. And then and the last season of not Flash, Arrow, but he got shanked by Ra's al Ghul. So he went to go fight Ra's because he's trying to protect the city. Of course, it's just like crazy. He loves the city too much. I don't know how much somebody could love a city be getting shanked for it like 20 times. So Ra's like kills him. He's supposed to be dead, and some of his friends bring him back, and everybody, Diggle, Felicity, they all think that he's dead. So they're trying to hold it down with like Arsenal running point. And it was kind of emotional because he came back at the end and he just like stood on top of his truck with like 50 million people coming by and saying, "I will never leave y'all again." And he just like, and he did.
I
and
love
he
y'all.
Did. He did, yo. He was. I kind of had like half a tear. And
Oh,
he did.
I think he was crying.
But then he did the Batman, yo. He like, he just shot like this rope out of his arm and it went to like nowhere and just flew off.
He flew away. He was like, whoa. He caught a helicopter in the air. Like, wee.
Something. I don't know. I don't think that rope is that long that could even fit, they'll find one of the other buildings. But, he did it. So I was like, wow. This guy's awesome. So, Flash, Flash and Arrow, I know you guys probably don't get into it as much as I do, but it's...
I'm telling you, I'm reserving it for one of those days where the family is either gone or away, and I can actually enjoy it without somebody telling me they want to watch something else. 'Cause that's what's going to happen. That's the only reason why I haven't started watching it, is because I know if I start watching it, somebody's going, "I want to do this. Why are you watching that? I don't want to see that." I'm like, ugh.
Oh, they do that to you, huh? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I guess. The missus, she'll watch it with me, so. I've been dragging her into, our geekiness. So
drag her down into the pits of geekdom.
Yeah. Actually, there's another show. I don't know if you guys have watched it. I just started binge watching it with all the snow. It's called The Killing. It's one of those Netflix originals.
Dude,
I've seen that.
I used to watch that
I watched the first season.
It is so good.
Yo, that season really caught me off guard. I was like, "Holy crap!"
So you guys know it. I mean, I'm on season 2 right now, and it's I'm not usually into shows like that with like all that detective and stuff, because like Law and Order kind of
the typical. It is not your typical detective cop drama. It is they actually put personality into the detectives, along with the storyline that you're going through, which makes it even
They've got some really complicated backgrounds, which is
the characters are very complicated, which is very good. I love it about that show.
I love it. That show is, it's so good. I might even wreak havoc and after this over, catch another episode tonight. But I've been binging that. So if you guys out there haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. There's 4 seasons of it right now on Netflix. So you can get that on
it's gone that far.
It's 4
already?
seasons?
Really?
Yeah. The actual first 2 were like 12, 13 episodes.
Yeah,
and then
short.
The last 2 were actually short. They were like 10 and 6.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So I don't
Didn't
know.
Didn't it
if
get picked up by somebody else, because it was on AMC for a while? Didn't it get picked up by somebody else? Now it doesn't show on AMC.
I thought it was Netflix.
That's right. It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah. So
because when it first started, it was AMC.
It was
before
AMC.
Before AMC was AMC.
Okay, they must have added, because like a week ago or even 2 weeks ago when I started watching it, it was only season 1 that was out there, and all of a sudden I looked, now there's like season 4.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I stopped the second season too. And the second season, at first, I was kind of a little confused because everything that ending episode for season one was like a mind
Bet,
blowing
look,
fucking
hush,
I
moment.
was
be
like,
quiet, be quiet. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
oh, you
nobody's
haven't?
gonna
Oh,
know. I
I
wasn't
haven't.
gonna spoil it. I
Oh,
hate
okay, good.
spoilers, but yeah, you know how I feel about spoilers. But I'm telling you right now, your mind is going to explode.
Damn
The
it,
ending
girl.
episode is like,
As if I didn't have
Yeah.
more to watch.
wow. So it's just that was a twist that I did not expect at all. That was
Either.
like,
It had me. And I had to watch it twice because, like, I kind of cheated on my wife and I went ahead and watched it.
Without her.
Yeah, she had to go.
What
so
are you watching, baby? I don't know.
Nothing, right? And she kind of caught me because I thought she boned out and she forgot something, came back and she caught me. I was like, oh,
yeah, busted.
And that's like big time violation between us, right? So
you watched it without me, you bastard.
yeah, pretty much. I gotta love them. So we watched it again, and I watched it with her, and we can't stop watching it. So I'll probably try to catch one more episode tonight of season 2.
That's awesome. Daggone it,
Right.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, season
Yeah.
2 is really complicated too, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Very
gosh.
good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So yeah, I had 2 real opportunities to do like an awesome segue. So I have to apologize to both you guys. I could have segued into 2 really good other topics on the agenda here. We were talking about Legend of Zelda at one point with Makita, and we could have segued real quick into them announcing that they're going to do a live action version of Zelda on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I don't know how that's gonna. I don't know how that's gonna go.
Well, of course nobody did. I mean, it's real early. They haven't really announced anything aside from the fact that they're gonna do one.
Yeah.
And then it's on Netflix. But they did say the way they're describing the way they're going for it is that it's supposed to be a kind of Game of Thrones for the entire family. Is the way they
Game
describe
of Thrones for the entire family.
Now, I know that's
Game
a
of
huge
Thrones.
reach.
Yeah,
Reach.
Game
That's
of
a huge
Thrones is
reach.
about family.
I know, right?
And is yeah, Game of Thrones.
Hey,
for the
guys,
family.
I'm
All right.
just to switch something real quick. I am so jacked up, right? Because I'll be clickety clacking while we be doing the show, right?
Stupid.
So, I haven't played Destiny in a while, so I jumped on, right, and I'm doing this mission, right. So me and this guy, he's like a level 26. He's doing something, right, and he has one of his little speedy bikes there, right. So while he's in there trying to complete his mission, I stole his bike and I bolted out because I didn't want to walk across the map. I know he was bent because he was shooting at me. Yeah,
and ladies and
sorry,
gentlemen,
son.
this is why you don't play with Dirty Hamato, because he's a bastard.
Wow.
Oh, here he goes. He found a bike. He found me. He's shooting at me. You bum, get away. Sorry, son. I didn't mean to take your bike. Yo,
Yes,
he's
you did.
heated, yo. Yeah, we're going at it. How would you ask?
Oh, man. And I did have actually another opportunity to kind of segue as well. Another kind of big news that kind of dropped. I can't remember if it was today or yesterday. That Marvel announced is that they finally got rights to Spider-Man, and that Spider-Man will be in the next Marvel Universe movies probably as soon as next year.
Please let it be Miles Morales. Please
And
let
that's
it be
what-
Miles Morales.
Yeah, I saw a really big thread of people hoping that that's the case, because thankfully they've decided they are not going to do another what's the term I'm looking for? Another Genesis or the origins. Another origins story for Spider-Man. Thank God. So they did say that.
They didn't say Andrew Garfield was off the table though.
They did.
Yes, they did.
I thought they
They
did.
They said that he's not. They said that he's not going to be the next Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I just saw that.
Oh, they cut him off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that's it.
Ah.
They said that's it.
He's
We're
out.
doing somebody new.
So they're not even giving him a part 3 to his little.
No.
No,
It's done, son.
sorry, hipster Spider-Man. You
I
gotta
know.
go.
Get the boot, y'all.
Shut
Gotta
down.
go.
So I put this question to the table, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think they would get, and what Spider-Man or men's is or women's is do you think it would be?
my heart clearly wants it to be Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I had to choose any star, it would be Danny Glover. If I had to choose
Oh,
anybody.
you mean Donald Glover?
Donald, excuse me. I'm
Oh,
like,
I was like, Danny Glover.
What?
I am.
I'm like,
You know
yo,
what?
he
My
a little
mind
too
is
old, and
elsewhere.
I think his belly sticks out a little. He's not gonna fit in
My
the suit.
yeah, my brain is like elsewhere right
Woo.
now. Donald Glover, thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Childish Gambino himself.
yeah, I think he would make a fantastic, like I could see him coming across
I can see
as
that too.
a really sarcastic Spidey, like Spidey is supposed to be. I think he has the build for it. If it, I think he could really build himself up. I mean, the role doesn't call for somebody to be super duper buff, but just kind of like lean. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think he could definitely pull that off. I feel like it's going to be another Peter Parker, or
and so it's like your heart and then the realistic you.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be another Peter Parker, or maybe like to the most extreme case, they may do the Spider-Man where Doc Ock was Spider-Man. But
yeah, I was kind of thinking that myself, because they kind of have an opportunity to do something kind of off, because they did say also with this news that they're backing up and moving around some of the release dates for some of the movies because of this.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
see.
let me look at it real quick. Cuz I've got the link right here. Read, buddy, read. Let's see. They said that they plan on bringing the Civil War storyline next year in Captain America, and that most likely Spider-Man will be there. I'm reading this from MSN's article that they had, that was apparently from Variety.com, I think. Oh, so they said that Sony will continue to distribute, finance, own, and have final creative control of Spider-Man, which they are making room by rescheduling Thor Ragnarok, which was supposed to be July 28th, 2017. It moves back to November 3rd. Black Panther, which originally had November 3rd, will move up to July 6th. Inhumans has moved back to summer of 2019, and another Captain America after Civil War moves back to November 2018. And they are planning on doing another Spider-Man movie, but they didn't say when that they are planning on it quite yet. Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is. The next Spider-Man film will be July 28th, 2017. So that will be the all new Spider-Man. Not the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Which is no longer exists.
Yeah, which no longer exists.
Except on DVD.
Yep. So that's interesting. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and I kind of agree with you, Makita, because I've got a feeling that because they're doing Civil War, and I mean, if you're gonna do Civil War and you're gonna introduce the new Spider-Man in Civil War, it's gonna be Peter Parker. I can't see them doing a Civil War without Peter Parker, because he was instrumental in that whole storyline in the books anyways. So I don't see how they would. I mean, that wouldn't be too different from how they've kind of butchered some of the other storylines. But I've just got a feeling it'll probably be Peter Parker as well, more than likely, so that he can unmask himself and tell everybody, "I'm Peter Parker," and everybody go, "Oh my gosh, we never knew." But so yeah, all those people that were hoping and praying that Spider-Man would actually end up with the rest of the Marvel Universe, it has come to pass. So we will see what comes of it. We shall see. So one of the other little topics I kind of put on here, I'm going to jump along in the agenda here a bit because I kind of want to talk a little bit about this. One of my, I guess you call it adventures in bungeoneering topics. It's kind of woven in there with movies and technology and everything. It was a movie that I watched this weekend that I was kind of excited to watch. It wasn't a great movie, but I thought the concepts in it were pretty interesting. Have either of you seen the movie Transcendence with Johnny Depp?
Is that the one where he? I might have told you no, but I probably think I might have seen it. Is that when he ended up into the computer?
Yes, that's when they took his consciousness and placed
threw
it
in
into a computer. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that and I wanted to choke myself.
So what about it made you want to choke yourself? Because I didn't think it was that bad, but I could see where they were going with it, what they were intending for. They didn't really carry it out as well as they probably could have. It was kind of bland and dry. But
yes,
in terms of the tech and what they were actually revealing in terms of the direction the technology could go, I kind of thought was interesting to a point, and that's kind of where I wanted to lead the discussion more so than just the movie. But
right. Yeah. I mean, the tech's pretty cool. I mean, if you're looking at it based on that, I thought it was, that, actually, I think there's probably a possibility that stuff might actually even exist already.
Well, I was kind of looking at that. One of the things. Well, let me put it to you this way. One of the key themes that they had in the movie was that they were trying to take a person's consciousness and map it into an artificial intelligence and have that consciousness reside in the digital realm. Okay. That right now, and one of the key terms that they used was it was a singularity, is what they called it, where basically the moment is almost like the moment that an AI becomes self-aware, I think, is the way they defined it there. And I don't think that's really the real definition of the singularity or that moment. But the real issue that they kind of, not issue, but the one thing that they did kind of recognize or speak about, because I saw some of the articles that came out around the time of the movie, is that they're very far from doing anything close to this, mainly because not enough has been learned about the human brain, for them to be able to, the human brain. Because and part of the reason for that is because in the movie they even said it. One of the real questions they asked is, they asked the AI in the movie, do you know if you are, do you know that you exist or something? I can't remember the exact question that they posed to the computer. It was like, how do you know that you are self-aware, or that you're alive, or that you're conscious, or I forget the term exactly that they used in the movie. And the computer just kind of bit back and asked the same question to the human. How do you prove? Oh, that's what it was. How do you prove that you are like alive or self-aware or something like that? And the computer just reflected that same question back at the human, right? And just looking at what they've kind of set up for technology in real life, we have like minuscule knowledge of the human brain. In order for them to do something like they did in that movie, you'd have to have like complete knowledge of the human brain, exactly what happens and what part of the brain controls everything. And whether it comes down to our spirituality or our soul and all this other kind of stuff that we can barely define in real words ourselves. I was reading something. They were saying that they've unleashed like hundreds of millions of dollars for different research companies or not companies, but like research facilities that are basically education based, to map the human mind so that they could attempt eventually to do something of this nature. But they're like years away, almost decades away from that kind of thing. because we don't have anywhere near the kind of knowledge that we need on the human brain to be able to achieve something like this. But they were saying the other thing that was like completely impossible that happened in this movie. You remember all those scenes, Jay, where they had all of the nanobots and stuff coming out of the ground
Yes.
and healing? You know, it was like healing the people and it was healing the solar panels and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's
towards
impossible.
Towards the.
Yeah, that is like 100% impossible. But they did say they have said that nanotechnology is kind of like they have like 3 different phases for nanotechnology, and they said that the ability to use nanotechnology to enhance the human body, that part of it is possible theoretically, but they're at least maybe 30 years or so away from that, where they'd be able to have like nanotechnology that would be able to learn the human biochemistry, be able to affect it, and then be able to heal it as well as enhance it. You know, because they have already purposed a lot of nanotechnology to attempt to like attack cancer and do things of that nature. So, you know, the nanotechnology portion of it is probably a lot closer than the artificial intelligence portion of that movie, which I thought was pretty interesting. Because nanotechnology, you know, you don't really hear a whole lot about it in the news, but there's a lot of really, really amazing stuff that they will be able to do with nanotechnology. That's kind of similar to like the 4D printing that I was talking about a few episodes ago. You know, where um, it would actually change itself. A particular material would change itself based on, you know, body chemistry and be able to do different things without you having to tell it what to do. It would already be programmed to do it. You just put it in and just let it go and do its thing, you know. So it'll be years and years before we ever get anywhere near that close, but it's definitely like if phase 3 was the superhumans with nanotechnology, and then and phase 2 was like in the middle, and phase 1 was like, okay, we're at the genesis of nanotechnology. I think right about now they're pretty close to being at the end of the first phase of nanotechnology right now, which is pretty cool. It'll be real
Sweet, we're
interesting.
going into the Matrix.
No, seriously, that you know, I think Bill Gates even had a speech about that. He's, you know, you know him. He's got his hands in just about every kind of technology that's out there, so he knows what's going on in the tech world. He's like, some of those things are a lot closer than a lot of people think. So it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Movies still suck though.
Only because you can't do it.
I don't really care, dude.
No, of course you would. Look, trust me. If you knew anything about nanotechnology or whatever, I seriously doubt that you wouldn't want to be like at the forefront of that kind of technology.
You know what? I think when it comes to things like that, I don't actually want to make it. I just want to play with it.
You just want to play
Yeah.
with it.
I don't really care to, you know, like, you know, I don't want to make any of this stuff. I just want to use it, you know.
Yeah, if
That's
it
kind
has
of my thing.
purpose, if it has purpose, I'll totally play around with it. But I'm not interested in building it per se.
Right. I'm not interested at all. Not even remotely close. I'd sit there and be like, wow, this is freaking cool. You know, like I want to be the part of the executive team that gets to decide what to do with it. I'll do that.
Well, the
But as
reason
far
why I
as
say that, Jay, is because a part of nanotechnology actually does involve some of the things that you already do, like networking and, you know, servers and that kind of thing. Because I mean, they're basically minuscule microscopic computers or robots.
Yeah, they are.
So,
Yeah, they
you
are.
know,
I mean,
they're trying to get to a phase where they'll be able to integrate. You know, they haven't gotten there yet, but these nanobots eventually will be able to network with each other and then network to your network and you be able to do a lot of amazing things. So it is actually integrated with some of the things that you already do. You know what I mean?
Probably from the chip perspective, but not the way I understand nano.
Not directly, no, because you just not that smart. But you have the skill set.
I might not be.
Gotcha. No, you do have the skill set. It's not so far off from your expertise as you would think. It is
Probably,
involved to a degree.
probably, but
It's
like,
not like you building nano robots in your in your backyard,
no,
but it's not
no,
as
but I
far away
use
from
it.
it as you think.
Right, I'll use them. Yeah, if I had some nanobots
You
to
do.
go out and to do stuff on the network for me, and I just tell them what to do, that'd be great. But
That's
as
right.
far as building the technology,
Make
hell,
Cortana.
pretty much, that's kind of my deal. I want
Yes,
to plug you in and do what I tell you.
yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, unless the rest of my hosts have anything else they would like to bring up, that might be a show. You guys have anything else you guys want to bring up or talk about?
No, I've been, like I said, I've been working like crazy. So, I wish I had so much more to talk about. But hopefully next week I'll come up with something because I got a little bit of free time, and I'll be more prepared for the show.
Yes, yes. We'll have our. Speaking of, I'm glad you said that. Yes, speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, next week we will have a guest, Mr. Christopher Wiltz from designnews.com will be joining us on the show. We plan on having a nice little discussion about augmented reality and virtual reality. He's kind of I don't want to say on the forefront of it, but he's involved with researching and reporting on such technologies. So it'll be interesting to have a little discussion with him next week about augmented reality and virtual reality, where he thinks it's going, his hopes for it, and all that other kind of stuff. So definitely tune in next week and see what he has to say along with the rest of the Geekswagg crew next week. Yes, 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 yes. What about you, Thinking Nation?
No, I have nothing else. I think we've covered like 50 bazillion topics on and off what was on the agenda.
Say word. Hey, that's the way it's supposed to go. We
Yes,
got the
sir.
knowledge. We got the knowledge. We just
We
supposed
got
to
the
release
tools. We
it.
got the talent.
Say word. Yup.
Miller time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Geek Swag crew. I am your boy Bunny 3000, along with my boy
30.
and the one and only.
The Grim Freaker.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is a show. We love y'all. We thank you so much for being with us. Peace out to ladies at Roundtable. Thank you guys for having us once again. And we will see you guys next week. Say bye to the people, y'all.
Good
Bye to the
night,
people.
y'all.